the most common misconception about e-collars, remote training collars, whatever you want to call them, is that they're a device that is exclusively reserved for crazy dogs. Wow, that's it. He's nuts. Get the taser. Get the cattle prod. A big, huge Borbal that just wants to eat people. That's what the e-collar's for. It's the most aversive tool that can be applied, and really they're torture devices. But maybe if you have a really nutty dog, all right, fine. Ridiculous. It's nonsense. An e-collar has actually a very circumscribed application, right? What is it designed for? It's for off-leash training. There are ways to train your dog off-leash, old school ways. That, trust me, if you don't want to use an e-collar, you're not going to want to apply those techniques. They're modeled after a system created by this guy Bill Keeler. I'm not putting any value judgments on those old techniques, but trust me, people who have problems with e-collars would never ever train their dog like that. That's all I'm saying. So it's for off-leash training. That's it. Okay, it's introduced on leash so the dogs understand it. You condition slowly, incrementally, at very low levels, and that's it. And this is a communication device. If I had to, I could use it to scream, but really what we want to do is whisper with it most of the time. It is not for just big dogs. For older dogs, you can start with a dog as young as 4 months, and that's what I did with Mr. Cake Bear. Now, Cake Bear, look, I like working. I've had a lot of little dogs lately, and I guess I'm becoming New York's, little cute female dog trainer, and that's great. But really, I cut my teeth on and still tend to specialize in cases of aggression, or usually it's dogs that are more like reactive. So they're like the JV version of aggressive dogs. They're just kind of like a lot of dogs from shelters, maybe pit mixes. They're reactive on a leash, whatever, and they're like teenage boys who just need a good talking to, before they turn into murderers in their 20s. The bulk of the aggressive dogs I deal with are like that, but I've dealt with a ton of psychos, like dogs that really wanted to kill me. I love dogs like that. But, the e-collar, frankly, the e-collar is not a particularly effective tool for dealing with aggression anyway. You want to use the leash primarily for that, especially up front. Later on, once it's conditioned in, it can actually be a good device for aggression too, because the timing is just perfect for this thing. As soon as they look at a target, a trigger, boop, and it can kind of snap them out of it. The timing's great with this, but generally speaking, basic obedience, behavioral issues, this is not really what this is for. But you can use it with little guys too. Puppies as young as 4 months. Now, Cake Bear is a testament to it sounds silly, but I'm really very proud of the work I did with this dog. He's immensely confident. He does not have small dog syndrome. He was totally going to develop it. He would have been one of those dogs who would have been a pain in the ass to take to the groomers or something. And he's like, poof, confident in a good way. He can jump like crazy. He's probably, I let him get away with some bullshit sometimes. He'll hump on Butchie a little bit. That's the other thing. He has some paraphilias. Not going to get too into detail, but he's French. Nothing's gay in Europe. French guys like to party. He's comfortable and totally open with that. He takes Elvis and Butchie to the peep shows in Times Square sometimes, and they all come home. They're high on God knows what. And Elvis and Butchie look deeply ashamed, just go to bed. They don't talk for a few days. Cake Bear, he's popping around. And he wants to tell me about it. I don't listen. He's a fucking freak. But he wouldn't have been as comfortable with his sexual peccadillos if it wasn't for the e-collar. And generally speaking, I really don't think he would be the same dog if we hadn't used this device, because it allowed him to get off leash very, very early. And it also gave his owner device that she struggled with him for a lot of different reasons. Just she had some limitations, and this helped her a lot. And so, look, he is a testament to the fact that e-collars are not just for crazy dogs. They're for all dogs to expand their freedom. Any dog. I think all dogs this should be used with. Just to get them off leash. And you just keep it low. I mean, look, I can't feel that. Okay, I can't. I can't feel it until it's like at 20. I use comfort pads too, which cuts the stem by about 50%, maybe, you know. But whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And if you have this revulsion toward this device, but you've never felt it in your hand, you've never taken it, or even if you want to be dramatic on your neck, you're not making a decision based upon logic. That's a visceral, emotional reaction. It's not based upon reason. Because you don't have any experiential framework of understanding. You know, you have to have it, and it helps to have someone actually explain it to you. But if you just want to take it on yourself and feel what it feels like at low levels, work all the way up with it, do that, and then form your own judgments. You know, but what it's for is to expand their freedom. It's for off-leash training. By the way, with young dogs, it can be incredibly important because off-leash in many ways begins in the home. So placemat right now. He gets it. If they're in the trash, they'll get it because the timing is immediate with the correction. There's no lag time. With a leash, you've got between 1.3 and 2 seconds to correct the dog for them to have any idea what you're talking about. So this is immediate. They get it. You know, and it allows them to kind of get off the leash in the home because otherwise you got to keep a leash on them all the time. It's a pain in the ass. Makes them much more reliable. And they can learn to behave properly earlier inside the home, hold their place, okay, you know, and they live better lives. So, look, think about it. Think about it logically, and a lot of countries are banning this device, and those countries, the number of euthanasias are increasing, and much more importantly, I think, they go hand in hand with breed bans. Because this is also a tool that can empower owners. Right? Let's say you're a single female living in the East Village, you got a crazy pit bull. You may not be able to master leash technique, but this can help you a lot. Situations like that. So a lot of times this might be necessary for those crazy dogs, not for me, but for the owner. See, so they almost 100% of the time they go hand in hand with breed bans. And that's not right. So that's why I get upset about just people being, well, then you're pro breed ban then, and I think that's not right. That's wrong. But look, this freak, he's a pretty happy guy, right? He's not damaged, and he's had exposure to this since he was 4 months. You know, you should see him rape Butch. God, the confidence on this one. All right, so. Very, very important thing to know about these devices. And just keep your mind open. That's the most important thing before, you know, having a knee-jerk reaction to it.